What is up, fellow Sambarians? So, as you can see, I got a Subaru Sambar KS4 here, and doesn't matter KS4, KS3. What I will be doing is the same across the trucks and the vans, with an exception to the vans being slightly more difficult to do this than on the trucks, and you will see why soon enough. So this truck was brought to me overheating, and the coolant lines, the ends that are flanged, have actually rotted away. So the hose was clamped on there and it was pretty much grabbing onto nothing. So you can't really test an overheating issue if you got coolant leaks. So I need to solve the initial problem of it leaking before we get on to the overheating, which hopefully, because I really can't stand trying to figure out overheating issues on the sandbars. PTSD. I think the thermostat may have not been working because it was extremely rusty. This was a grade 4, which it's a really, really beautiful truck. Very nice. Except with the low kilometers, you always have to think, why are the kilometers so low? It's because it sat. So if it wasn't taken care of while it was sitting, stuff like the coolant lines and stuff can rust out. Patito. So yeah, unfortunately the coolant lines rusted out. Someone left old coolant or water in it, and there's a lot of rustiness going on inside. So yeah, the thermostat was rusty. Hopefully the thermostat was stuck. The timing belt and all that and the water pump was changed. So again, I'm hoping it's just a stuck thermostat issue, but we can't even check that until we fix the coolant lines. So when I say the coolant lines, I'm talking about the metal ones that run along the bottom of your sandbar. There are 3 coolant pipes. There's a heater pipe, there's your radiator pipe, and yeah, there's a couple radiator and one for your heater. I think the heater one is the small guy. But anyways, they all have metal pipes that run along the bottom, and depending on how well it was taken care of or where it was located in Japan, they can be extremely rusty and on the verge of turning into flutes, which I have changed these on 2 trucks now and 1 van. Here's the deal. The truck is very easy. I've seen guys in the past where this has come up where they think they need to take the truck bed off. You do not need to take the truck bed off to do these coolant pipes. In my opinion, I think it is way more work to try to remove the bed, to remove those pipes, than it is to just leave the bed on, because now we're talking about other old rusty bolts and body mounts and clips and stuff, because things are attached to the bed that have to be removed. So we're talking old plastic clips. There's actually a metal coolant line that is welded to the bottom of the bed, so you'll have to remove hoses to get that off. You can't actually remove that line. Again, it's welded to the bottom of the bed. So that's another story. If that thing rusts out, you pretty much have to bypass that thing. But anyways, you can do it with the truck bed on, and I'm telling you that because Patita, because the van is the same exact thing. And if you think you need to take the truck bed off to do this, then what are you going to do for the van? Separate the body? You can't really do that. So again, you don't have to take the truck bed off. You can do it with the truck bed on, and I think it's much easier, in my opinion. The van, however, is a pain in the butt, because since you have access with the truck, which is so nice. You can see right through and everything's good. The van body comes down low, so you can't get above the gas tank per se. So to do it on the van, you actually have to drop the gas tank to get a metal cross member that goes across undone, so you can get the pipe out. So if it's on your van, it's going to be a lot more work, but at least you can see when I do this one, you can see what you need to remove, because again, it's the same on the van it is for the truck. The van just has way less access than the truck. So right now I have it up, but I think I'm gonna jack up the front end too, so I just get way more room underneath it. Thanks to a guy on Instagram, he sent me these sick ramps that jack up, but I'm gonna get the front jacked up so we have way more room underneath, and then we can start removing like clamps and brackets and stuff to get these hoses out, and you can kind of see the process if this is something you need to do. And just to kind of show you don't need to remove the truck bed if you want to do these pipes. So anyways, enough blabber jobbing. Let's get the truck up and let me start taking some parts off. Cool. So basically these 3 lines, they need to be replaced. The ends have rotted away. So I'm actually gonna go, this is something I forgot to mention. You're gonna find a lot of rusty bolts down here. So it's best to get some penetration lube and spray all the bolts on the the hanger clamps and brackets and stuff. So I'm gonna spray all that down. Here is this cross member right here. This is the one that you have to drop the gas tank on the van for, because it runs on top of the gas tank. And to get to these bolts on the other side or above the gas tank, and on the van there's no way to reach it, so you have to drain your gas tank, drop your gas tank down low enough to be able to get these bolts out. It's a pain in the butt. That's why I love doing them on the trucks, because it's so easy. You have access up above, so at least on the gas tank side, because you got to get it from above. So anyways, I'm gonna spray all that stuff down. It runs up to the front, connects the hoses on the other side of this, which is kind of a pain in the butt. If you got big hands, it's hard to reach in there because there's little nipples that come off the lines that you got to hit. Oh, pollito. And then remove all the plastic covers and all the brackets and things, and then we'll get this off, and then we can start sliding the pipes out. Okay, so I am starting to remove this this plastic shield. Some of you might not have this shield. Some sandbars have them, some sandbars don't. I think some just didn't last long enough in life to keep it on there. So we got a couple 12 millimeters, couple 10 millimeters. And this one has air conditioning, so it adds a couple more items on here that yours might not have. Okay. All right, heat shield, or plastic shield. It's like an air diverter. Been removed. Okay, so now we got way more access to stuff, but we'll remove this bracket here, which is a couple 10 mils. This bracket here holding the stuff on for the air conditioner. So like I said, some might not have some stuff because this has AC. There's a couple here, and then we'll move up to the front. We just can't see that quite yet. So let's get all these guys undone. Okay, so I guess the pain in the buttest part is these ones holding the bracket here. You have to go up above to get those 10 mils out. So yeah, these ones are kind of a pain in the butt. All right, quick patito break. Patita just drinking wheel water, not well water, but some wheel water. All the wild peepees. What's going on, patitos? Okay. Snowflake. All right, back to work. Okay, so the trick to get the other clamp, it's hard to film this part, but it's the easiest way is to go in through your wheel well in this pocket right here, and then you can get to the, you can feel the 10 millimeters up on top. So that's how I'm gonna go in there and get those ones done. Okay, so all these lines have been unhooked. Essentially just going out through the wheel well and then in up above, but you got the 3 main lines, and then you got one little line up above, which is, oh man, yeah, you can see how like rusty the ends are. There's a couple lines on top that are tricky. There's a small clamp, and then there's a kind, just your like normal squeeze clamp style, for the hoses that are going, the nipples that are going into these main lines. So that's the hardest part, is getting your hand up above and inside there to get those off. So now we are on to this cross member that goes across that like holds stuff up in the gas tank and stuff. So this is what I was saying, on the truck it's very easy because we can reach up above. On the vans, there's no access, so you actually literally have to drop the gas tank, which is, you know, pain in the butt. Hope your gas tank isn't full. And if you do have a van and you got to drop your gas tank, I'd flip the fill nozzle down and then let a bunch drain out. There's 2 bolts here. There's 2 bolts in the back, just like the front, but then there's a couple hoses that are on the top of the gas tank that you got to undo. So yeah, just make sure you get take your time, make sure you get all the hoses undone, because they're like hidden up on top, and it won't let you drop the gas tank if the hoses are attached. So yeah, anyways, thank goodness it's a truck so we can go in from above. So let me get these off. These are 12 mils. There's this little guy right here, 10, and then there's a couple 12s on the other side. Okay, we'll see if this worked. It's on fisheye, and I'm trying to make this new magnet mount work as much as possible so you guys can see. So what we do is we slide it back to the engine and then slide the pipe forward. So here's one. Let's get number 2 out. What's going on here? There we go. Here's number 2. Slide it back towards the engine and then slide out the front. Slide it back towards the engine and then slide out the front. All right, now let's go look at all these hoses and you can see what I'm talking about, how they are absolutely destroyed. Oh gosh. All right, don't mind my hand there. I'm just holding the tripod doohickey. So yes, here is the one end. So the flanged, or that like bulged end, is non-existent. So coolant leak. Hose didn't have anything to hold on to. Here's the back end, eaten away. Okay, that's the heater hose. This is for the radiator. This one is no longer flanged or bulged. That little tiny one has a little bit of a bulgy. But again, here we go in the back. Rotted away. So nothing for the hose to grab onto. And here's the other one. You can see pieces, part of the bulge there. That one's gone as well. And then here is the back. Pretty much gone as well. So let's just start from the inside out. And I don't think it really matters, but let's just start from the inside out. So up on top of stuff. radiator hose wants to be in my way. I'm sorry. The smaller heater hose line goes out. I mean, not out, it goes towards the left side of the truck. I was backwards. So let's get the heater line in. And there's like there's white paint marks on the pipes, and that kind of like gives you an idea of like how far to push the hose onto. Yeah. So slide the hose on, put your clamps on. You might need new hose clamps. You might be able to reuse your old ones. Do whatever you need to do. I salvaged all mine, so I'm just gonna reuse. All the hose clamps I have here. All right, I'm trying something a little different here. See if you guys can see what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to put the old hose clamp back on. Like I said, I have the hose butted up against the paint mark on the pipe. I think that's just to kind of show, hey, hose goes all the way on there. I am not going to put this clamp with those with the end pointing up, so I have to get in from the top. I think that's really silly. We're gonna make it so if we gotta do this again, we can get the hose clamp off properly. I mean, not properly, get the hose clamp off easily. I just want to make sure that, you know, if these hoses are leaking, we can easily get to them again. Hopefully they're not leaking, but you get my drift. Okay, that's pretty tight. I don't want to go too tight because I don't want to cut the hose, but you get the point. Okay, so this one has the clampy. I don't know if you can see that. I can't really see what you're looking at, but I think you can see that. So this one goes on. It goes obviously in front of all the cables. So you're gonna see all the cables, like, you know, probably throttle and clutch and that stuff. Before I get too carried away, I'm gonna put the clamp on there so I can reach it still. There we go. Bingo. Okay, that's good. Okay, so now let's get the crud. Crud. Get the crud all crud. I love the smell of rusty coolant. It's the best. Okay, got that on. We'll have this one pointing straight down, so it's easy to get to in case we need to take it off. All right, that's pretty tight. Okay. Oh man, this is the fun one, where we have to get the other line in. With the other big old nipple on it. Okay, so this one's a little bit trickier because it's got this goofy upper hose. There we go. Okay. Okay, so back at, I thought I heard a weird noise. I thought something was getting the birds. Okay, so I got the upper nipple on there, which is a lot easier to get when the hoses are all unclamped and you can move them around. Get your hand up on top. So now we're just on the back main end of it now. Get the hose clamp down. Thank goodness all these clamps were good. Most of the time they're super rusted out, so it's hard to reuse these ones. Okay, so those are all clamped, hooked up, clamped, hooked up. So all we gotta do is put now the metal clamps back on. Which is this guy, and it has like the band, the strap clamp on the end. Okay, so those are all clamped down, everything's good. There's literally like paint marks on the pipes that tell you like where to set it at the clamp, so it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't know why this thing's not focusing, but there we go. Yeah, so you'll set the clamps on the paint marks on the pipes, so it just gives you, you know, where are we? Oh, there we go. You know, boom, boom, boom. Everything's clamped, upper's done. So now we'll hose clamp the back ones, and then we'll go along and clamp, put all the rest of the remaining clamps on. Yeah. Hopefully you can hear me. All right, so let's get all the pipes in their locations. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's all, they got paint marks where everything's supposed to go back, so it's kind of hard to mess up. Now the hoses are on the pipes. Before they were just like squeezing onto nothing because there was no pipe. No pipe there to hold on to. This should fix our leak. All right. I hear ya. All right. Heater hose hooked up. Lower radiator hose, which feeds the engine. Upper radiator hose, which comes from the thermostat. Make sure you got the hoses in the right pipes. Now let's put all our clamps back on. Put all our clampy poos back on. I'm good. It's easy and good. We got one more bracket. Make sure all this is nice and clean. No one likes a dirty coolant pipe. Okay, so those are all tight. Let's put the shield in, or air dam. This is all tight. Okay, hopefully I'm still recording. I don't know. I can't see my phone. To do a little flippy poo. There we go. That's the trick. Just pull on that side and keep it down. Ah, man. Okay. That's the trick. Okay. Coolant pipes are in. Shield's on. So at this point, it's time to add coolant. Well, cool. You guys saw how to replace the metal coolant pipes on the bottom of your Sambar. Again, truck and the van is a little bit different. The van, you have to drop the gas tank. The truck, you do not need to remove the bed. You can do it all from underneath very, 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 very easily. So yeah, I'm not gonna show the coolant adding and all that process. That's pretty straightforward. If it is the truck, the trick is to get the front up higher than the back. You got your little bleeder in the back. It's the one little floppy hose that comes off the metal coolant line. You can't miss it. And on the vans, all I do with the vans is I just get the back end up as high as possible. and I have my little coolant. I bought that coolant attachment jug that you can buy on Amazon that fits different radiators, and I set that up on the van. I have the back end of the van up as high as I can get it, and then I just fill it up, run it, heater on full blast, and just let it kind of gurgle and bubble out as the thermostat opens up and the heater goes. If there's a bleeding process to the van, I don't know what it is. I have literally never bled the van. I just have always done it that way and never had any issues back end up. On the truck, again, I'll just show it to you real quick if you don't know. On the trucks though, they have this line right here. It comes off your little, this feeds off of the water pump. So this comes out of the water pump, goes up to the front while the thermostat is closed. There's that little line right there. It's either got a little, plug on it, or it's actually got like 8 inches of rubber hose that you will bleed. And it's usually got like a little blue plug. It's like a bluish green plug, plastic plug on it. So you'll take that plug off and again have the front end up, fill up the radiator tank up in the front, and then once it's full, then you go to the back, open that up, and then it should let some air out. But I mean, it's real easy to bleed these things. It's just a matter of letting it run, turn the hot air on, letting the thermostat open up, and just let all the air kind of bubble out, burp out, whatever. But cool, that's how you replace the lines. Thanks for watching, guys. Sorry, it's been a while since I've made a video. I've just been extremely busy. And I started working on another one, but it just felt way too rushed because I've been in a hurry. So I figured I'll just do this one because I don't think anybody's made a video on the coolant lines. And I've seen people saying they need to remove the beds, and I just want to say you don't need to remove the bed. I think that's a waste of time in my opinion. Do it from underneath the truck. It's very, very, very easy. And coolant pipes are available in Japan. If you're local to me in Washington, I have them for sale. If you're in an emergency, you can buy them off me, but I gotta find a box that those will fit in. So emergency is not that good because it'll take me a while to find that box. And there are some guys who are making them, which is good. Again, carbureted and fuel injected are the same. Supercharged has a different one of the coolant pipes has a different fitting on it or something, or has an extra fitting, so it's slightly different. But if you are fuel injected or carbureted, these coolant pipes are all the same. It's the supercharged one that has, I think, one that is slightly different. And I couldn't tell you what it is because it's discontinued and you can't get them anymore. So that's more of if that guy who is producing them can make one that is for the supercharged Sambar. But yeah, cool. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff if you would like. I'm trying to keep making videos as time goes on. I've just been extremely busy, like I said, and it's been hard to make videos, which is good. I'm not complaining at all. And I just got married, so super stoked. I don't know if you can see that. It's my rubber ring, which is cool. Most guys' rings come with rubber rings now, so I won't all bash it up when I'm working under the truck. So thanks for everyone who's wished us a happy marriage and all that stuff. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Check out my website, okgarage.com, OHKEI garage.com, if you need any parts, or you can get my email on my website and you can reach out to me and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Again, it's been tough because I've been really busy in a good way, very good way. So cool. This truck was from Northwest Mini Trucks. Yeah, they're having me fix it for a customer, so shout out to those guys. But yeah, grade 4, super clean, just some rusty coolant pipes, that's all. But anyways, I will get coolant in this guy and we will continue to solve the overheating issue. Thanks again, guys. I will see you on the next one.